Yo, what's happening guys? Welcome back to Tokimotive. Alright, so I've got mad motivation and excitement at the moment. You would have seen already in the previous video, I got an S13. Heaps keen for this. It's just kind of revived my whole passion about everything. It was time for a change and I'm really happy I've made it, and I'm really excited to keep cracking on this motor build and build it back forged. It's going in something exciting. It's going in the S13. I'm super keen for it. Also, I'm going to take it a little bit slower with the motor build and put some work into doing little touches that will free up a little bit more power, a little bit more response. But I'm on night shift and I've probably got like 20 minutes to work on it this afternoon. But that's okay. I'm out here and I'm loving it. So, what I've got going on and what I'm doing at the moment. Started playing around with it before. Port matching the intake, which that's just been dremeled so far. Carbide burr, which not bad. It's matching the hole pretty nicely, pretty close. And as you can see, that's what a standard port's like. Standard port, not that great. It's kind of, it's jagged on the edge. It doesn't flow very nicely. So, hitting it with the carbide burr, kind of getting the rough shape. And then I'm going to get a little small flap disc in there, kind of sand it, get it a bit smooth. When it comes to trying to port the head, which I'll do a light bit, take the casting marks off, I'll hit it with a higher grit flap disc at the end, just to kind of leave a little bit of swirl in it, just because it's a port injection and it can cause like kind of fuel to condensate rather than vaporize if it's like polished on a port intake. It's just something I picked up on the grapevine a long time ago. But this thing right here, it has just reignited all my motivation and passion for it. It feels like it was when I was building the OG wagon, when I was getting it ready for the road, and I'm just super excited, super keen, super motivated, and I want to spend every minute I can out here, any chance I get, working on it, filming, everything. So I'm excited. I'm really happy. So I'm going to get cracking into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. Tip when using a carbide burr on alloy, because I've got a fairly fine one, which isn't really suited for alloy, but a little bit of WD on the bit, and just every now and then just throw a little bit on it. Stops the alloy from sticking in there as much. Stay. Alright, so now for the head side of the porting, I'm not going to go too crazy with it because I really don't want to fuck this up, and I'm not an expert. 30-year-old Nissan casting, it's not that great. So the plan is get them so they match the gasket hole. It looks to be about the same amount of material on each one, so I'll do that, and then essentially I'm just going to take the casting marks out of it. I'm just going to smooth them out, and there's a little bit of a lip, little bit of a step where the valve seat is at the back of the I don't know what you call it. Anyway, at the back of the port near the valve, there's a little step. I'm just going to smooth that back down so that it can just go. The air can do that. So I'm going to fuck around with that. Hopefully it all comes up pretty Mickey Mouse. It's my first time attempting this, so fuck it. It might work out great. I might fuck it up, but I'm going to give it a go. It is my only good usable head, so I'm going to take it easy and just match it to the gasket, take the marks out of it, and it should improve the flow at least a little bit. Maybe not a lot. Anyway, the little bit, it's sure to help. It's sure to help just a touch. Since I went through so much effort on the actual manifold side, I may as well do it on the head side as well. I'll just be real gentle. I'm not an expert. I'm just dumbass in my shed. So, anyway, I'm going to get cracking with that. Hopefully it's somewhat satisfying, and yeah. What are you doing? Oh, I've been eating snacks. Now, standard ports, this is a standard head. You can sort of see it sort of steps back out in the casting as it goes in. This isn't as bad as the head I just ported was to start with, but you can see where it kind of lips and steps back out. See how coarse all that casting is on the inside. The casting on this head here was not as bad in terms of the ports. The exhaust ports, again, very small, rough casting. I just finished. Like, it's far from perfect. I'm definitely not a professional, but much smoother. Little bit larger. I went fairly aggressive on the exhaust ports. You can see that mouth looks bigger as it is, and there's no step. I've taken a good chunk of material out of the bowl, which mostly it's just the casting marks and the coarseness, but for the exhaust ones I went fairly aggressive. See, I've kind of opened them up a fair ways. Really hard to get film in there. The thing is, the smoothness of that roll over there where the air's got to pass over, the short side of it. By the time you take all the rough casting out, it ends up being a decent little size extra porting. I couldn't quite get down into those bits just around the seat. I just didn't have the tools to do it. But as it sits, the flow should be pretty significantly different. Once again, I'm just a dumbass in my shed, just having a crack at things, and honestly I'm happy with that. I think that turned out pretty well. Everything seems to look pretty even, and I've smoothed it more than I've made it rough, so that's a good thing. Enlarging those exhaust ports. I figure the exhaust side's not as critical in terms of getting them perfect, which they're really close. I'm really fucking happy with it. Taking that lip off where the valve seat is, that's definitely going to improve flow. I haven't gone too aggressive, and I've mostly for the intake I've just cleaned it up, taken that lip out, and then gasket matched the ports. So a little bit more flow, it'll be a lot smoother, and it won't be trying to force its way around that little hump near the valve seat. And I've smoothed that short side a lot. Honestly, I'm really happy with that. That makes me very happy. Like, I've had a crack at it, and I think I've done well. Like, there'll be an expert saying I've done it wrong, probably, but I'm happy with it. And I think for the amount of effort it took, yeah, it was a fair bit of fucking around, and it was tedious, but it was satisfying, it was fun. And I think I've definitely improved more than I've hurt the head anyway. Hopefully that little bit, you know, the percent difference that porting the intake did, and you know, maybe that's a 3 or a 4% difference on the head flow. Maybe it's more. Maybe what I've done's really good. Maybe what I've done's just kind of pointless. But I think that's going to make a difference. I think that was definitely worthwhile doing. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Now that sort of stuff's done, I can give the head one final good clean. I'll do that in the next one or off camera, but I'll give that a good, proper, solid clean. Make sure there's no swarf or any shavings left anywhere in it. Get it nice and smick, and then I can start lapping up valves and reassembling the head, and then I'll have an assembled head ready to go. That's a big chunk towards getting the motor rebuilt. I've still got to order rings to suit the forged pistons, and I've got to sort myself a new oil pump because I need housing, gears, all that sort of shit with the oil pump housing, with the 25 oil pump. So I don't really want to put a billet, fuck's sake. I don't really want to put the motor all together with anything less than billet gears. I feel like just kidding myself. I've got the crank collar, I've got everything. If I cheap out on the oil pump, it's going to be where it fails, surely. This Silvia, it's probably one of the best things I've ever done. It's got my motivation at an all-time high again. I'm excited to finish rebuilding the motor. The true test will be once it gets on the dyno and once it, you know, runs for a little bit and I check the plugs, and hopefully they're all really consistent. I think they will be. The ports all look pretty uniform to me. So fingers crossed I didn't fuck it up. I think it's a success, but there's still the chance I fucked it up. Anyway, for a basic toolkit and just having to go at home, I think I did a good job. But yeah, anyways guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'm out of time for recording. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you got any tips on this sort of stuff, let me know. I'll be happy to take it on board and take it into consideration and potentially apply it before I do the final assembly of this head. But anyways guys, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, stuff. Gang signs.